Welcome to Mission Ready Society. I'm your host, Orrin Price, and in today's video, I'm going to be demonstrating how to use CalTopo. Now, I want to start this video off by apologizing. This is not nearly what I wanted to create for this video, for this upload. I've been away overseas actually doing some training with the Army, so I've been gone for 3 weeks, so this video is kind of a last minute idea, kind of a little rushed. So I want to apologize that this is not anything extravagant or super cool or anything like that. But I do think that it is still valuable information and I would like to share it. So so without further ado, I'm gonna demonstrate now how to use CalTopo. Here we are. I've looked up just CalTopo, and now it's going to be the very first website that you find when you look this up. So now we're going to click on the website here, and well, it brought me straight to the map because I've been here before, but usually it's going to bring you to this page here. Now, when you find yourself on this page, what you're going to do is you're going to hit Start Mapping. Now, it's going to bring you to this page here, and this is where you can start to play around. So, as you can see, we have the entire planet. The nice part about CalTopo is you can go over to some other country. We'll choose something random like, I don't know, New Zealand. New Zealand's pretty mountainous. And you just basically you zoom in, and it will slowly just give you more and more detail. And as you can see here, it's going to give you nice contoured maps. Sometimes it takes a second to load. Maybe it doesn't go in that far. But yeah, essentially it's going to give you nice detailed maps. And if you watched my basic land navigation series, this is actually the website I used to get maps for those videos. So now I'm going to kind of show you the different things you can do in this and how to make yourself a map and how to print a map. That way you can use this or you can use it to show something to other people. So I'm just going to choose a random area here, and we're going to choose somewhere mountainous. So we're going to go with Colorado, the Rocky Mountains, and we'll choose this area, Aspen, Colorado. Never been here, but essentially, as you can see, I zoom in and it gives me more details. It's starting to show me the town here. It shows you the roads, and now you can see all the different buildings for this area. Now, the further you zoom in and the further out you zoom in, the scale of your map is going to change. So the more you zoom in, the larger. So like in that land navigation video I showed, there is like a 1 in 25,000 scale, a 1 in 50,000 scale, and a 1 in 100,000 scale. Now, the further you zoom in, you're going to be using a most likely a 1 in 25,000 scale. That's going to be the largest triangle, and it's going to be for your close-ups of certain areas. The more you zoom out, you're going to go to your 1 in 50,000, and then the more and more you zoom out, you're going to go to your 1 in 100,000. Now, you can do a bunch of different things with this website. It's pretty cool. So, as you can see, the maps here, they have contour lines already. But if you want to make these contour lines more bold, you can click the contours button here, and it'll make them stand out even more. Now, You can add slope angle shading, so it'll actually shade the angle of these different slopes. And as you can see down here in the bottom of the screen, it will tell you the actual degrees based off of what color the shading is. So that's pretty cool. Really interesting feature, kind of nice to use if you're looking at maybe a larger map. And we'll uncheck this now. You can check this geology one. It'll give you another overlay, and you can click on geology information, and it'll give you all this different information regarding the geology or the rock of this area, which is it's also really cool. Now I will say this is the free version of CalTopo, so as you can see, there's actually a lot of things you can do with this free version, and obviously there's certain things you can't do with it. I'm not signed into an account right now. You can make an account if you would like, but I am not. So, where did Aspen go? I've been moving this thing around. Well, anyways, it doesn't really matter. But there's the geology. You can also click on public lands, and it'll highlight different areas. And again, it'll give you the information down here, telling you what these highlighted areas are and whether or not they're public land. So you got, USFS, all these different things, local, state, all of those different categories. Now, let me find a town here. Go up here to Denver, big city. And now we have all of this different area. Let it load here for a second. Zoom in as a little bit more. Now we can see all these buildings. We want these buildings to be highlighted more. We just click on the structures button, and it's going to highlight them all in orange. So that will make the structures themselves stand out more. Now you can click motor vehicle, MVUM, and it'll give you motor vehicle, and it'll tell you all these different information, unspecific or special status, road, highway, legal vehicles only, paved, dirt, high clearance, all of these different things. This CalTopo is a really good resource for maybe if you've never been somewhere, or you're part of a search and rescue team, and you're trying to map out an area, or you want to be a prepared individual, or you're planning some sort of mission, some sort of tactical mission, something along those lines. This is a great resource for mapping out an area or your area of operation or area of interest. Those are kind of different terms we use in the military, but that's a whole separate topic. There's also recreation, so you can select different things. They only have two categories here. There's mountain bike, and then you can choose ski resorts, and it'll actually highlight different ski resorts. So I think most people know Colorado is a big ski place. So here you have all the different ski mountains highlighted. You can click on fire history, and it'll put little markers here of different dates and the history of fires. And go all the way back to 19. So that's also pretty cool. You can also mark fire activity. Let's see. And as you can see, it'll highlight all different locations where there's been fire activity. And then there's sun exposure. Some of these I haven't even actually played with before. There's actually a lot of different things that you can do on here. I'm not sure what sun exposure does. The cell coverage one is actually pretty cool. So let's go to like Alaska, where we know there's not a lot of cell coverage. So, all right, so you go to cell coverage. Again, I'm going to give you information. And here it'll actually tell you the different providers. It only really talks about three different providers here. but it'll tell you the colors and what they mean for the coverage of that area. You can also select different providers from down here. So like Alaska, as you can see, these highlighted areas is where there is cell coverage. And as you can see, most of the rest of the place, there is no cell coverage. Now I will mention that when you're doing these overlays, it's only going to really, actually, it's only going to show you the United States. Unfortunately, so that is a little bit of a bummer. I haven't completely looked into it of whether or not there's a way to get it to show you other countries as well. Maybe I should do some more research into that. But it will show you the United States for those settings. Now there's a weather shading. Do the 24-hour low, 24-hour snow, max wind, max gust. You can do all that stuff. There's also a wind plot. So it'll show you the direction. Some of these I have to zoom in a little bit for. It'll show you the wind pattern here. As you can see by these little arrow things. Are they arrows? Or like little streak type deal, you know? They'll tell you you can go up to like plus 36 hours. So in the future, and it'll show you the wind pattern. You can do avalanche. Probably not a great area for avalanches. Colorado, though, avalanches. We'll show you those. Avalanche zones. And then that's all the map overlays. So that's kind of all the different things that you can add to the map. Now, what I'm going to show you next is actually how to print a map or how to download a map. Now, to do that, all you're going to do is, actually, I forgot to mention, you can measure different distances as well. So you can take this tool, you kind of just put a line down, drop another line, and it'll tell you the distance of those. You can undo them. You can do lines, you can do bearings, profiles, area. So that's all also pretty cool. So like if we wanted to know an area, certain spot, you go like this, you can draw a little shape here, like so, and connect the two together. And should tell you the area, yeah, over 6,000 square miles. So it's pretty large area there. But yeah, so now to print the map, you're going to go here to this little print icon. You're going to click on it. It's going to open a new page. And now you're going to see these large red rectangle. Now you can still mess with your map overlays. You can add overlays if you would like to. But for this, I also forgot to mention on the last page too, before I show you how to print the map and do all that, you can also change what it looks like. So there's map builder hybrid. Let me zoom in here a little bit so you can see the difference. Sorry, it's kind of red now, but map builder hybrid, map builder topo, Forest Service, all these different scan topos. There's all these different types of maps that you can do. The satellite images are premium version, but what you can do actually is you can go to global imagery and it'll bring up a satellite image. It might not be the most up to date, but it will bring you a satellite type image. That's pretty cool. For this, we're just going to go map builder hybrid. And now this is where we This is where we get to decide what area we want our map to be in, and our scale, and uh, how we print it. So our format, you're going to want to go to, you can select JPEG, order, you can order a paper map, or you can go to geospatial PDF. If you're downloading this and you're printing it yourself, either JPEG image or geospatial PDF will work. I'm going to keep it on the PDF version. Here you can select your paper size. Unfortunately, you have to have Pro to go bigger. 8.5 by 11 is pretty standard. You can also choose a custom paper size as well. So you can select A4 also. But we're going to go with 8.5 by 11. That's a standard sheet of printer paper. And it works for most needs. Now your scale, you can select it to not fixed. But if you do that and you're using a protractor of some sort, your scale might not match up to the protractor itself. So for this, we're going to choose our 1 in 25,000. And as you can see, it got really tiny because, as I was talking about earlier, the 1 in 25,000 scale is a smaller area. And I'm actually going to switch it to 1 in 50,000 just so it's slightly larger. So that massive rectangle is like a huge area. So you can see this is what a 1 in 50,000 scale looks like. And now I have to zoom in probably to move this. Okay, so so grab the corner of it, and you can essentially just bring it wherever you want. We'll just choose this area by the water for now. And now this is the area of a map that we're going to be creating. And what you can do also, which is going to be helpful for you, is your grid lines. So you're going to want, you can choose UTM, and then you're going to make sure this is checked, because this is going to be your grid lines. That way you can actually use that protractor on your paper as well. And you can line it up to the grid lines if you'd like, or you can just leave it where it is. And it doesn't necessarily matter. It does, but it doesn't. But you also are going to want to select the latitude and longitude, because that is going to, should number your grid lines here. Nope, not what I wanted. Degrees. Yeah, there you go. You can see that they're numbered here. Just keep it at degrees, but you can see that our grid lines are now numbered here. I just had to not be moving around for 1 second. As so, should come back here. Well, anyways, make sure that your latitude and longitude is selected, and then you can select the orientation of your paper, either portrait or landscaped. And then you're just going to hit generate PDF. And again, it's going to bring you to another page, but it's going to, if it loads here, should have your map on it. Try reloading this here. No. It doesn't want to work now. Here, let me try downloading it. Essentially, it should open the page and it should bring you to this page, and you should be able to see your map. Oh, it's just not working. All right, give me 1 moment to figure this out. So for whatever reason, the PDF option is not working. So put it over to JPEG image, I guess. But also, I lied. You don't have to have latitude and longitude selected. It just kind of changes your rectangle itself. But didn't mean to zoom in that far. Do make sure that this option here for the grid lines is selected, because that is going to be important for when you are doing your mapping and using your protractor. Now, we have all these settings are the same, 1 in 55,000. Don't have to mess with this, just keep it. You can't anyways unless you have Pro. You can make a title for it if you'd like. And then again, portrait. And now essentially all you're gonna do is generate the JPEG here. It's gonna bring you to a separate page where it is now going to have your map. And has your information down here, your scale, and your magnetic north conversion. And yeah, so that it's not super detailed like if you were to have some sort of military map or buy a map itself, but it is good enough for most situations, and it's free, so that's also a bonus. You can right click this and then you can just hit save image as, and you can save it straight to your laptop like so. You can click on it, open it, and then you can print this as well if you have a printer. And I believe you could just probably just hit Control Shift P. Print. Okay, well, anyways, you can print it, or you can actually just print it straight from the website as well. That works also. I'm pretty sure you can. It kind of sucks that the PDF isn't working because that's a lot easier to download because there's just a download button up here. But that is essentially how you download the map to your laptop if you choose to. And that is essentially how to use CalTopo. Now you can, you can put a overlay on here. Like, let's see, let's say we want the slope angle shading, and I want that to show up in my map itself. And let's switch it to a 1 in 25,000. We'll go to this map in this region here, and then I'll just hit generate JPEG. The same thing should bring me to a new page here. Give it a second to load, and there we go. And now it has that shading on it of the different slope angle. So that's helpful. You can add the different map overlays if you choose to, and do all of that fun stuff. This is how to use CalTopo and how to make your own paper maps. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope that this was helpful to you in some way, shape, or form. Again, I apologize. This is not the type of video that I wanted to create, but given my circumstances in a short time to upload this, this is what I had to do for this week's video. But from here on out, the videos should be back to better quality and more interesting. And that's because I'm back in the States now. So I'm back home, and yeah, the videos from here on out should be better. Again, unless I find myself in a time crunch. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. Thanks for bearing with me, and I'll see you in the next one.